kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life goes lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome in, everybody, to ECR once again. It's been a few weeks since we've been here, but they definitely had some fireworks that I missed out on at Daytona. Wound up with a green-white checkered finish that didn't leave much left on the racetrack. Tristan Bailey wound up coming out on top. Kyle Diaz and Colin Bollinger rounded out the top three of the 102-lap four-caution race at Daytona. But we are back in action here at the ECR Firecracker 251 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, or Echo Park now. I'm up in the booth. Mike Damoni joined with me, as always, Shane Cochran. Shane, man, how's it going?
Doing great. Had a great 4th of July vacation. Happy to be back up here in the booth with ECR, which was kind of effectively their 4th of July race because they were off. We're going to see a lot of red, white, and blue special paint schemes tonight. Really excited to see how this plays out here at Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. And last week we had, when we were last here, we had 5 drivers in the Eliminator Challenge. We are now down to 4. Dwayne Furtick did not make the cut here, so the final 4 are going to be Tristan Bailey, Tyler Burton, Adam Boughton, and Doug Denise, and they are going to battle it out here in Atlanta. Before we get going, let's also bring up the points real quick here. Tristan Bailey has a pretty big lead, but these guys don't really care so much about that as they have a chase format that is going to take effect in about 6 races now. So they're going to get that down and do the old-fashioned chase for the championship here instead of the playoff format. But Tristan Bailey has been dominant lately.
Yeah, it's really getting serious now for this in-season tournament that's worth 6 bonus points going into the chase if you are able to win this in-season Eliminator Challenge. So everybody going to be fighting for that.
Here we go. All right, so it is going to be 163 laps. They have 6 sets of tires, 1 faster pair. As they get down to the grid, we're going to go track side. Adam Boughton with the pole. Kane Lee going to start just to his outside with Michael York and Tristan Bailey going to be in row 2. Row 3, Tyler Burton and Colin Bollinger. Michael Carter and John Osborne going to be in row number 4. Row 5, Andrew Chapman and Dwayne Furtick. Aaron Spear and Jonathan Cogswell, row 6. We've got Pete Walsh and Anthony Ludi going to start in row 7. Row 8, Doug Denise and Christopher Roth. Ryan McCall and Bradley Rivers going to make up row 9. Row 10, Eric McGetty and Gary Nash and Kent Mueller going to start shotgun on the field tonight. What do you think the strategy is going to be kind of tonight with only, looks like 20 drivers are taking part?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of the age-old question at a drafting track. Where is the safest place to be? Because we know there's going to be some accidents, whether it's the big one or a small one here and there. You know, I think the Dale Jr. approach was try to be out front. That's the safest place. But I think in recent times, up front is where the wrecks have been breaking out at drafting tracks, as these cars just lose so much speed when they're the lead car, and the big runs come in 2nd and 3rd place. So maybe you try to hang out back. But here at ECR, no stage breaks, so you can't really afford to lose the draft. You can't afford to kind of hang back too long and maybe get caught out on a green flag pit stop or anything like that and lose that main pack. So I don't know what the answer is. I think you want to be near the front, and hopefully the guy behind you is smart enough not to wreck you. That's really all you can hope for.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, and it is going to be different. They did do an update to this track, so the cars are a little bit different as far as the handling goes. So we'll see if that has any effect here tonight. These guys had a practice race, I believe, last night. And if you look at the ticker that's up on your screen right now, all the drivers in that eliminator are going to be highlighted in blue. So whoever's the bottom one is the driver that's going to be going home, and we'll be down to the top 3 next week. Pace car is in as we get ready to head to the Echo Park restart zone. Down and away, Adam Boughton gets a pretty good jump with Michael York right on his bumper, but that outside line's not going away either.
Yeah, again, I think it's all going to be about patience. This is a good long race. It's going to be tempting when you get the runs, but you've got to find some drafting partners and get comfortable.
Yeah,
We also mentioned that Mueller was starting at the back of the pack. He is currently 13th in points, the first car out of the playoffs as they sit today. So he can't afford to sit back there as our season is starting to wind down, the regular season that is. He's going to need to get something out of this one.
Yeah, he definitely is. And I was kind of talking pre-race with you. There was a penalty coming out of Daytona, and that's going to be with Colin Bollinger. Colin Bollinger was not supposed to qualify, I believe, so that is why he has dropped back to the back of the pack, had to start at the tail end of the drivers who qualified, and now he is trying to make his way back up through the field. Still a lot of side-by-side action as Michael York has jumped to that outside lane. Michael Carter going to fill in behind Adam Boughton here as they head to the start-finish line to complete lap number 3.
Yeah, the cars are going to handle pretty well here for about the first 10 to 12 laps. And then somewhere around there, that's where I'm expecting they're going to get loose and tight at the same time. That's kind of what this new tire update has been for the next-gen car in the last month or so here on iRacing. And cars will be, kind of tight in the turns, and then they'll be loose right here on the front stretch, kind of coming through that quad oval section. That's where I'm expecting the accidents to break out here tonight when they happen, somewhere on that front stretch. The track is super wide, but to get your car safely through those little dog legs, you've got to, there's only kind of 2 to 3 lanes that work well. And when drivers start fighting over those, that's when trouble breaks out. But it's calm so far here tonight. Oh, just as I say it, Furtick goes around, saves it, but other cars going around now. Looks like Cogswell getting the worst of it. Pete Walsh also involved. Definitely the Booth curse there. But it broke out exactly kind of where I predicted on the front stretch. Like I said, you just run out of room trying to get your car through the quad oval.
Oh.
And the lanes are really not defined.
Take a look here.
Looked like the 74 maybe didn't realize that Dwayne was out there.
Yeah,
or
it's
was expecting him to be clear.
It almost looks like it's one of those things where you expect the driver to kind of float a little wider, and he just didn't.
And that onboard is great. You can see the sun is also right in their eyes at that exact moment. I wonder if that played in a little bit.
Looks like Cogswell definitely got caught up in it. Let's go. There you go. Right out from behind the stands there, right in your eyes.
Yeah, as the sun's going down, now it shouldn't be an issue later in the race, but yeah, I mean it's hard to see right there.
This is the second trip to Atlanta Motor Speedway this season for the ECR NextGen League. They came here back in March, 167 laps, had 10 leaders, 18 lead changes, and 7 cautions for 18 laps. Michael York was able to come out on top with Tyler Burden and Kane Lee rounding out the top 3. So we'll see if that can, if that's going to kind of be a precursor to what we see here. As Michael York has been running fairly well so far. He's up inside that top 5, qualified P3, so has a pretty fast number 5 Chevy there.
Yeah, and an earlier caution than I was expecting. But that's just the way it goes at Atlanta.
Looks like 6 drivers didn't pit.
Yeah,
And with only 7 laps, I don't think it really would matter, does it? Would it?
Yeah, I don't think it'll come into play unless we go kind of a full fuel run here. But judging by what's happening so far, we might not get a full fuel run in. And that track position up front just too tough to give up at this point.
Eric Spaghetti taking the apron down to the back of the field, trying to get out of the way, it looks like. Adam Boughton with the button on the high line as they come through the restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I think that 42 car opting to drop to the back. Maybe not feeling too confident in his car's handling so far, but right now, Bowden and York, big breakaway at the front. And all night long, you're going to see cars getting a breakaway, and then like a rubber band, those guys in third or fourth are going to fly up to them, and here they come. You almost have to be careful, especially when you get down to a late green-white checker or something. As the leader, you don't want to get too big of a jump because it just lets the pack catch you with such a head of steam.
Yeah, it's definitely the same thing. You know, you were talking about earlier. Where do you want to be towards the end of the race? Do you want to be leading, or do you want to kind of be, you know, second, third, fourth, and be able to try and time that run where you can at least take advantage of it, or do you want to be on the defense the whole time as you're coming to the checkered flag?
Wayne Furtick involved in that early caution. He's trying to recover now. Still pretty close to the back, but turning some of the fastest laps on the track. I think he had the fastest lap of the race that last time around. Trying to make his way through this field. They're 3 wide there around 10th position.
Looks like
That's Kane Lee up top.
Three wide again.
See everybody kind of peeking their noses around, trying to figure out where can I get a run here.
Yeah, I think between that and the fact that last week at Daytona, I think there was 2 cars that, or last time they were on the track, there was a couple cars that just blew the engine. They're trying to make sure that what happens when they do stick their nose out, watch that water temperature go down.
Yeah, that's something I feel like this next-gen car does a little faster than the trucks or the Xfinity cars or even the previous generation of Cup cars. They don't give you a full warning that they're about to overheat. It kind of happens in like 3/4 of a lap from when the temperature turns red to when you're blowing. So you've got to be paying attention to that if you're right on the bumper of that guy in front of you.
Well, I said Cullen Bollinger had to drop to the back of the field. Now he is up high, riding 3 wide, trying to make the pass on Michael York, but he is going the wrong way in a hurry as nobody jumped up there with him. So he's going to fade back all the way to 11th place right now, maybe even further.
Looks like he scraped the wall a little bit too. So he was trying to make sure to give those inside lines plenty of space. This is going to drop him back there now behind Furtick on the outside lane. The 51 has been working with his teammate Kane Lee in the 38. I think they're just kind of biding their time, and they're going to hit the gas when they're ready.
Yeah, he's kind of in that position of, do you want to kind of back up just a little bit, give yourself a little more time to react if something happens, since you're not really going forward through the field, or, you know, just try and just hang on there and hope nothing happens in front of you.
Yeah, but our drivers, as part of that elimination challenge, they are on the move, especially Doug Denise, now up to 7th. All 4 of those drivers in the top 8 right now. Three wide. Burden leads the outside lane. That's Christopher Roth there in the middle. Now kind of all by himself, looking for somewhere to fit in. Inside of Michael York. Still can't find anywhere to go.
No, and I think that's the more dangerous part if you're 3 wide coming through that quad oval, because everybody kind of bounces around just a little bit, and you don't know if you're going to have enough room to stay there in the middle, or if that guy on the bottom's not going to see and, you know, float up just a little bit and cause you to have to go up a little bit higher and maybe into that outside lane.
Yeah, there's just really no well-defined lanes. Like the lanes painted on the track don't correspond to the racing line at all. So especially when you're 3 wide, you just don't know where is the outside lane's path? Where is the inside lane's path? And the apron is flat. It looks really tempting, but drivers not allowed to go down below that double stripe red line if they can avoid it. So it's a bit of an illusion. The track looks a lot wider than it effectively is.
Yeah, especially when you look and you see, 5 lanes. It's not 5 lanes.
Looks like maybe we're starting to see that tire difference actually make a difference. We're now about 7 laps into this run. The top 3 have not pitted yet, but the other drivers who stayed out have drifted back through the field. Michael York now in 10th. Bollinger back in 11th.
Yeah, he got in that high line, and that high line looked like it was trying to make a little bit of ground, but kind of stalled out there, and he was kind of pushed back with the rest of them, so he's stuck back there a little ways in 11th, but we'll see if they can get it sorted out. The drivers up front, though, Boughton, Carter, and Spear, have not left each other at all. I believe that's probably why they're Whoa.
Oh, there goes Burden into the wall. Michael York involved. Going around. Oh, Roth now in the wall as well. Somebody else down on the inside.
Nash.
That's the 88.
I want to say that started. Yeah, it started somewhere around Doug here, but let's take a look. Oh, nope. It was off of.
Ooh, yeah.
See who that was. That was Ryan McCall. Take a look. Ryan McCall on the high line. Then starts to drive down. Bounces off of Doug Denise right in front of Burden. Burden tries to check up, and McCall just goes right off his bumper right into the wall. Bradley Rivers gets a little touch, and Tyler Burden, Kristen Bailey both involved. So that is definitely going to shake up that Eliminator challenge tonight.
Yeah, and they just had no time to react. Like, especially when you're pushing like that, those three right there, Burden and Bailey there, they were right on each other as soon, when they can't see that 90 car getting loose in front of them. So that's going to bring pretty much everyone to pit road. Nobody staying out this time other than maybe Cogswell will to get one of his laps back.
Like Cogswell's called it a night.
No, he's out. Never mind.
The only driver that stayed out is Maggette, but he's probably going to come to pit lane the second time and back of the field, kind of like what he did before. Rapid Fire Pizza, yellow flag as always.
We're about, if you were going to try to stay out, I think the fuel window here is about 46 laps of green flag running, but we're not getting close to that yet here tonight with these cautions. And like I said, it doesn't take that long, maybe about 10 laps before the tires start to give up a little bit of grip, and that's what it looked like happened to the 90 car. Ryan McCall just got loose and had to go down and get out of the gas to save it. It's kind of the biggest difference between Atlanta and a Daytona or a Talladega is the drafting is similar. You've got to take the runs when you get them. You can go 3 wide, but the tire wear much more detrimental here at Echo Park. .42 still out front.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, wait, what is going on? And it looks like he hadn't hit either, so I don't know.
Going to leave the 94 on the outside in P2. It's Adam Boughton and then Michael Carter and Aaron Spear in row 2. Doug Denise up 10 positions so far. He's going to round out the top 5 as we come back to the green flag. Pace car hits pit road. And there it is. Green flag is out again, and we see that 42 car get a huge jump. I think that might be a mistake, Mike. You don't want to get out too far because that draft pack is going to come right up on you with a head of steam.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be that 42, especially after, basically getting out of the way at the last caution, and now he's up front, and running somewhere he hasn't ran all night. So we'll see how that plays out here. Is everybody trying to get around?
He's holding his own for now. Not getting a lot of help. Now they're going to put him 3 wide, and he's going to be stuck on the bottom. $15 and $94 to his outside. They're 3 wide in that third row. And they're going to clear the 42. Michael Carter now out front with Denise in second.
Bradley Rivers involved in that last caution, already running P5, P6 here down on the inside as they work their way around the 42 Toyota. Burdick inside the top 10 again.
He will not be denied. Kind of being careful and methodical here since that early incident.
It looks like everybody kind of settled down a little bit, but Andrew Chapman trying to slide in front of Maggette, and it looks like he will do that as McCall goes to his inside as well. Furtick down by.
And they are about to catch Gary Nash. Put him 2 laps down. We have to be careful. Catching a lap car is one of those opportunities to just stack up the field, even if they're running mostly single file.
Yeah, Gary Nash,
See,
we
right
saw
here,
him.
Rivers. Ooh, yeah, I think he checked up to get around Nash, and Chapman was right on him.
Yeah, he definitely was trying to get around Nash there. Nash had a bunch of damage after running into that inside wall under that last caution, so he spent some extra time getting that repaired. Went a lap down, went 2 now. And it looks like, as of right now, it's going to be Bailey or Burden going to be battling it out here for the final spot for the Eliminator Challenge, as they had that early race incident and are now currently 16th and 17th. Still a long way to go in this race, though.
Yeah, sometimes if you're not sure what strategy to take, an early wreck will convince you that riding safely towards the back might be the better option. Looks like both of them maybe still have a little bit of damage to repair, but they are hanging with the pack without a problem. Now the sun has gone down, the lights are coming on in hot Atlanta. No more glare to deal with on the front stretch. And there's a wreck. Rivers, York, Bollinger, Roth. Our biggest wreck yet. That collected a lot of cars.
Wow.
Does look like Bailey and Burden made it through safely.
I was going to say that
after checking up.
That looked like that was the strategy call there. Wow. Let's see
where
if
this
we
one
can see what
started.
happened. See. We'll take a look, see what happened with Rivers here, because I know I saw him involved relatively early. Oh, all over the rear bumper is Chapman. Oh, and then he just gets loose. Right in front of Ludi. Oh, and then the 5. What happened to the 5 there?
Just looked like as some drivers could see Rivers slowing down, they started to check up, and whoever's behind them. Good to see it again. This is kind of really similar to that earlier caution where McCall just got loose, and then everybody stacked up trying to check up on him.
Oh, Bailey tried to check up, just couldn't really see it. Looks like Osborne involved. Wow. So that will put, looks like, half of the cars on pit lane.
I think it was just a few weeks ago we called an Atlanta race for the Icon Series, and they had less than half of their drivers finish the race on the lead lap, and we're kind of trending towards that at this point.
Yeah, I think the only thing that might save us is they do have one faster pair here, so hopefully most of them can get it fixed and get back on the racetrack. Otherwise, this could turn into a abbreviated field.
Yeah, that fast repair, not a usual privilege here with ECR. They usually reserve that for road courses, but certainly coming in handy tonight.
Yeah, I think the admins went, all right, they updated it. We probably need this. So usually they don't have to use them anyway, but definitely tonight seems like it's a good option to have.
Yeah, and I mean, seeing a single car get loose is not something that would have happened 3 months ago with this next-gen car. This latest update really kind of throwing a wrench into the usual kind of overbearing tightness of the next-gen car. Laps in the books. I mean, so far, the driver of the race for me is Doug Denise. He started, I think, around 15th, 16th position. He's now up into second, leading that Eliminator Challenge here about a quarter of the way through the race. So we are back green here. Carter going to lead them, and Denise. Those two leaders get a huge jump again. I think later in the race, you're going to have to be smarter about getting too big of a run to keep that pack from catching you. And there's Dwayne Furtick in the top 5. Caught up in that first accident, but surviving the second two.
Yeah, the top 6 all did not pit under that last caution. Top 7 now.
Some of the cars weaving in the field. I'm not sure if they're trying to clean their tires or if they're getting loose, but
well, it looks like most of them are the drivers kind of back here towards the back of the pack, just kind of weaving in and out, trying to figure out where they want to go. I mean, they should all have fresh tires, so I don't know what they would be doing that for, but you never know. Single filed out for the most part here in the back.
Denise holding down that inside line. You got Aaron Spear trying to make the outside lane come to the front on the outside. He's got Kane Lee and Chapman pushing him.
3 wide for the lead.
Tyler Burden. It seems like every time they get 3 wide, there's one driver that's just by themselves. That time it was Aaron Spear, and he gets back in line as fast as he can there on the bottom. Kane Lee looked like he thought about coming down to that inside lane, kind of missed the window, and luckily didn't force it.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get clear, and then all of a sudden that was not the case, as Doug Denise had a huge push there from Michael Carter, shut that inside line down. That looks like just behind Tyler Burton. I think the 42 is getting a little loose there. Like Bradley Rivers is all over that rear bumper there as he goes down to the inside, leaves Maggette up on the high line by himself. Nobody pushing him.
Looks like it's that Chapman on the outside all by himself. Maggette back there behind him, but the outside lane is just dissolved.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to make it work, and then all of a sudden everybody saw an opening and just jumped in line on the bottom. That left Chapman up there by himself, and now Maggette's trying to close in, but not quite able to do it as Chapman is falling back more than Maggette's pulling up to him, but Chapman gets in line, leaves Maggette out there all alone on the high line. He'll have to fall in line at the end of the line. Looks like Michael York also called it a night there on that lap 37 caution too. Chapman steps back out.
The driver's just kind of in this conga line now. Oh, somebody jumps out. That's Bollinger. He's going to hit pit road. You know, one of the things we haven't talked about yet tonight, Mike, is that the entrance to pit road is before turn 3. You have to commit and then come all the way around this apron. But there's no speed limit until you get all the way to that yellow cone right there. So drivers can really kind of drift the car sideways and power through the apron if they're willing. Not sure why the 53 is hitting pit road now.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, because if your calculations are right, I mean, he should have at least another, what, 15, 20 laps left?
I mean, he was last on pit road way back on lap 27. Which is pretty much the same as our leaders. Denise, Carter, and Spear are the top 3. And I think we're seeing track position is king. The top 6 all didn't pit that last time. And the guys behind them just aren't going anywhere, at least not when we're single file like this.
Yeah, nobody's been willing to kind of stick their nose out and make a committed run in that outside lane. I mean, we've had Chapman stick his nose out a couple times, but nobody goes with him. And then he just winds up fading back a few spots and then falling in line once again on that inside line. So it doesn't, I mean, I guess we really don't know if that outside line's going to be worth anything. And somebody's going to want to test it out before the end of the race, I would think.
Yeah, 54 laps in the books. You better be getting some practice with the moves you're planning to win the race with. Right now, I'm not sure I've seen any definitive move other than just staying in the inside lane and hoping you don't get loose.
Tyler Burton jumped up to the high line and is with Chapman, Rivers, and Bailey, but they are not going anywhere. As Chapman looks like he touched Burton there and almost sent him into the wall.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Chapman seems to be the one driver not afraid to push all the way around the track right now. We saw him getting Rivers a little squirrely there just before Rivers went around on his own in that caution earlier, but I don't know. I think at this point of the race, if Chapman's on my rear bumper, I'm getting a little bit nervous, but hey, find me at the end when I'm ready to go to the front.
Almost like he's not afraid to push anywhere, like you said. And when he does tap you, it might be in the wrong spot.
I think the 42 and the 9 may be having an issue over the radio. That 42 has dropped way back. I think they might have had an issue there on the backstretch. Denise just riding in style out in front of Michael Carter, Aaron Spear, Adam Boughton, and Kane Lee. And Chapman is committed to that outside lane, even though he's all by himself. I think he's actually gained 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah, it looks like
using some side draft.
I'll tell you, it looks like he tries to time it just right where he can get by one and then slide in front of it. He's been able to make it work, but if there's more than a couple cars, it seems like he kind of just stalls out there on that outside line. But we'll see what he can do as he's just to the outside there of Christopher Roth.
Now up beside Furtick. Yeah, he's kind of just side drafting his way all the way to the front. Now up to 6th. Gonna get a run on Kane Lee.
Kane Lee saw what he was doing, kind of give him a little shove there towards the outside. Told him to stay off my bumper.
That really hurt his momentum. Now he's starting to drop
now
back.
Christopher
a little
Roth
bit
really
of a check
did.
from Roth. I don't think that was on purpose. I think Roth got loose and had to chase it, but Chapman able to minimize the contact to the wall. And he's right back with Tristan Bailey and Tyler Burden, who's drafting with maybe about 5 laps ago.
And he's been able to make up some ground, and he really had that side draft working. But as soon as somebody kind of shoved him out of the way, well, not Christopher Roth, but when Kane Lee kind of shoved him out of the way just a little bit, kind of broke that draft there. He went towards the back in a hurry, and Christopher Roth kind of helped him there when he was chasing that 62 machine.
Yeah, don't look now, Mike, but they... Oh, there's a wreck. I was just going to say, Roth hard into the wall. No caution. He's going to make it down to the apron. Let's see if he can get all the way around to pit road. But yeah, Michael Carter and Aaron Spear, they put a move on Doug Denise, and he dropped back to 6th position now. As the Revolution Motorsports guys are dominating the front of this field.
Let's go back and take a look here at that pass for the lead. Oh,
he actually got loose.
he's got loose, yeah.
again, I'm so not used to seeing a single next-gen car get loose. You gotta, yeah, I don't know. You just got to be right on top of the wheel, ready to catch it at any time, it seems like.
So go. See if we can see here what happened to Christopher Roth.
It's just, it almost seems like there's some sort of aerodynamic, effect happening when a guy is right on your bumper and then moves to the right. That's exactly what happened to Denise there, as Carter was kind of close to him and they moved up to the right. And we've seen Chapman be pushing drivers just fine, and then they get in the corner, he's not touching them, but he does kind of drift up to the right, and there must be some kind of air off the spoiler, and it just loses the rear tire grip.
Yeah, because we've seen it happen multiple times now, so I guess that is something to kind of put in the bank if you're wanting to drive these cars here on Echo Park now. If you need somebody to get a little loose, you can not even touch them.
Chapman just continues to fight his way kind of all by himself. He just dropped into that inside line again, but he was doing the same move over and over. Jump to the outside, side draft aggressively, and see what he can do. Doing it to Dwayne Furtick right now.
Doug Denise back behind them, running P7 now.
Yeah, Chapman just seems like he's allergic to the inside lane, Mike. Even when he's got an opening, he just can't resist going back to the outside. Now he's beside Kane Lee.
Well, Kane Lee last time just kind of moved up a little bit, broke that draft, and is the driver that kind of sent him towards the back. He slides in behind him. Going to tuck in for a minute, get a little more help with the draft, see if that will help him get pulled up even with Kane Lee, but he's still just right off that right rear quarter.
Interesting. He just seems to be the only driver willing to kind of take gambles here, see what he can do. Because now Lee's going to jump to the outside for a second, and I don't know if he was throwing a block or trying to get a run on the 94. And there goes Chapman.
He is timing that perfectly to get those runs. He gets in front of Kane Lee. Kane Lee comes up behind him, and now they are going to start working towards the front together here. And, ooh, Chapman a little bit close there to Aaron Spear.
This is the longest green flag run of the night by far. Tires have got to be wearing out for some of these drivers as they're trying to get these aggressive moves done at the front.
Well, we've got to be getting close to a pit stop here for some of these drivers. Andrew Chapman, I don't believe, is one of them, as he pitted on lap 37. The drivers around him all pitted on lap 26. So he's got 10 laps, 11 laps better as far as fuel mileage goes. So we'll see what that entails here. But they are catching the tail end of the field right now. Pete Walsh is 25.5 seconds back, so he's 4.5 seconds in front here. As Kane Lee gets loose, Dwayne Furtick goes down to the bottom, chases it, and we stay green as everybody spreads out, as the loose car of Kane Lee was given plenty of room to gather.
Wow, that was some tremendous driving, especially by Furtick, all the way down to the apron. He had to rejoin because of the momentum he was carrying, and able to do it, keep that thing straight, and not lose the draft either. He's back there now behind the 9 car of Tristan Bailey. They're going to regroup with Burden and try to get back up to this front pack. It's going to give Michael Carter, Aaron Spear, and Adam Boughton a little more breathing room for now. As we hear drivers on the radio claiming they're pitting this time. I think that was the 94. So here
96.
come our leaders here on lap 74. As I mentioned, the commitment cone and line are bound on the backstretch just before turn 3, but you can really wheel it around the apron. Here they come. Now, if you got to get a full tank of fuel, I think I'm taking 4 tires if I have to come in under green flag stops.
Oh, especially
You
right
might
now, definitely.
You might save a second or two if you went 2 tires, but I don't think it's worth it. As McCall gets down on the apron and Chapman tries to take advantage. But Osborne going to go to the inside, move himself up to second. Oh, who is that? Maggette. Sideways, right in front of the leaders, gets it collected down on the apron.
Could see this group
Rest of
all
these
come
drivers-
in shortly.
Yeah, I think they probably have another 7 or 8 laps based on the radio chatter before they come in. Sounds like a couple of them coming in right now.
And here comes everybody.
Osborne going to lead this pack, and he really throws it in there. Gets a big gap over the cars behind him. Making it in safely.
Like everybody made it.
Should leave Kent Mueller in the lead, but he has not pitted yet. He's riding along with Gary Nash, who's a couple laps down.
We got 4 drivers who have called it a night. Christopher Roth, Colin Bollinger, Michael York, and Jonathan Cogswell.
Four of our Eliminator Challenge drivers still on the lead lap, in contention. It's pitted on lap 37. So he is going to have to pit somewhere within, 5 to 10 laps if he decides to stay out and ride this out. But he's probably, he's losing speed to everyone that's already pitted, almost 2 seconds a lap with just these 2 cars by themselves versus the line of cars led by Michael Carter. And those 2 groups that pitted kind of caught each other right back up where they were.
Yeah, definitely.
Osborne led the second group, and he's right there.
So it definitely looked like they merged about the same time.
This pack about 19 seconds behind Kent Mueller, who was out there hoping for a caution. This pit strategy to play out in his favor. Coming up on a lap car of the... Well, actually, sorry, he's not a lap car. Maggette is in second place. He is not pitted yet either, but this pack is about to catch him with a head of steam.
And
Looks like he's on the pit road now.
Well, as we have completed our first green flag pit stop, we're going to step aside, pay some bills, and we'll be back right after this here on Sim Racing Media. right, welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss a thing while we were away. Everybody stayed pretty well single filed out here. Maybe calm down just a little bit here. Michael Carter still with the lead. Doug Denise back up into second. Boughton, Ludi, and Kane Lee make up that top 5.
Yeah, I think Kent Mueller did have to come down and pit eventually. Didn't catch the caution he needed. That's got him stuck a lap down. Not even in the lucky dog position. That's going to be Walsh in the 74 right now. So it kind of took a gamble there. I think he also had some damage from a previous wreck. Got that fast repair done on that stop as well. So he's going to set up to try and catch a break, get caught up. But Michael Carter out front. Doug Denise made his way back into the top 2 now, just ahead of Adam Boughton. We got Ludi and Lee rounding out the top 5, but that Eliminator challenge right now is between the 06 and the 9, Burden and Bailey. They're kind of drafting together right now, but when this race comes down to it, one of them is going to need to push ahead of the other one to stay alive. Chapman continuing to try that aggressive outside side draft strategy. This time, Dwayne Furtick going to jump up in front of him. See if he can ride that train to the front. His teammate Kane Lee also maybe looking to join him on the outside. These 3 getting together strong now. Chapman bails on it.
Yeah, that's just funny.
Just look. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say that's just funny. He's been one of the only drivers on the outside, and then all of a sudden he has some drivers up there, and he's like, "No, I'm going to go down to the inside now."
Yeah, I just get the feeling he's not wanting to work with Furtick and Lee, as we got Walsh goes down to the apron, keeps it collected. He's going to lose a little bit of time there. A couple spots, might even lose the draft.
If he loses the draft, that's exactly what Kent Mueller wants for himself, is he'll be able to catch Walsh then.
Another 20 seconds back from Walsh right now. But I think one of the big stories here is that it looks like the 06, the 9, maybe one other car, they are a full 13 seconds behind the main pack. Not where you want to be. And they are losing about 0.3 of a second a lap to that front pack. Just the 3 cars together here with the 42 as well. 42 of Maggette. He's 2 laps down, but drafting here with the 9 and the 6.
Yeah, Burton and Bailey want to see that caution.
Yeah, getting back to what we were saying, I just have the feeling Chapman does not want to work with Furtick or Lee. When they're on the inside, he side drafts them. When they come to the outside with him, he says, "No thanks," and drops back to the bottom.
He's been basically the one-man show here tonight, as he's been able to go pretty much wherever he wants to try and get positions. He almost thought about going 3 wide there on the top side.
We've seen it. Just he seems to be the only person willing to gamble on those moves. You know, he did win the race back at Talladega in April, so he has the pedigree on the drafting tracks.
This is the most time they've spent side by side since the start of the race, really.
Still got 60 laps to go, so at least a pit stop before the end of this. If we stay green, probably more if we have some cautions. But like I said earlier, this is kind of the time in the race where you're practicing. You're trying to figure out what is the move that guarantees me a gain in position of 2 or 3 spots when I need it. Can the outside work? Do you have to be on the bottom? Right now, the outside lane just inching their way forward as they are about to catch Kent Mueller and put him a second lap down. Where's Mueller going to go? It looks like he's going to be in the low line.
He's going to force everybody to go to the high side.
That's what he's going to do. The field kind of checking up, being polite about it, that's for sure.
Floats up a little bit there. But this is going to help him get to Pete Walsh if he can stay with this draft here. Hanley goes to the high side.
Doesn't look comfortable as Mueller is now stuck in the middle.
Burdick getting a little touchy there with Mueller there. Going to cost Burdick time there.
Doug Denise back to the lead. I think Michael Carter had led the last 18 before that.
I mean, there's been a few different leaders, but most of them, if not all of them, have been from that Revolution Motorsports stable of drivers there.
They've just worked really well together, and that seems to be the key to staying up front. Here it is. We've got Kane Lee and Chapman now working together on the outside.
Definitely a tale of two different halves of a race. As the first half, we had a few cautions to start the race, but there have been some long green flag runs here. And you have to kind of put that in your mind. What are you going to do if this race does continue to stay green? Do you stay out, or do you kind of short pit and hope it helps you?
And as Chapman is kind of throwing blocks left and right, I don't think Anthony Ludi is appreciating that. I saw Chapman come down as they got out of turn 2 the lap before, and Ludi was down below the red line trying to hold that position, ended up giving it up. Thought better of it, but Chapman continues to leverage that outside lane side draft and then jump back into the inside line, and he's not making any friends doing it.
No, he's definitely not.
Impressive nonetheless. He's battling for a third right now with Adam.
He's just hanging right off of their door panels, and he's making that work. I think Osborne's going to join him up there in the high line as well.
Yeah, the outside lane finally has the numbers, but they're not really pushed together to give each other a great bump. Ryan McCall back behind Osborne. I think if he can get up there, then they might have something for these leaders.
I don't know, it just seems odd to me that that inside line has just been so dominant, and that outside line just can't seem to make any sort of ground when they get more than one car. The only driver who's made any ground is Chapman there, and that was side drafting all by himself.
Yeah, it is kind of working backwards. When they get a line together, that's when they lose ground. It doesn't look like it's a handling issue. The cars look pretty comfortable right now. You gotta wonder who's going to be that next car to snap loose.
Osborne's still in that high line. Like Ryan McCall up there too. And they're going backwards again.
Yeah, once Chapman jumps down to the inside, they just lose their line leader. We now have less than 50 laps remaining here at the Echo Park Speedway. Chapman outside the 94 now, doing everything he can to get that rapid fire pizza car to the front.
Yeah, it looks like he tries to draft up right behind them, get almost to the bumper, and then pull out on corner exit and try and work that side draft. He's been able to make quite a few passes, just didn't quite work out for him that time as he jumped back in line. He is currently running fourth, up 5 spots.
Just kind of riding along right now.
Nobody's really trying to make any real moves here. Single filed out once again as Osborne and McCall jump in line. Burden and Bailey still back here. Looks like they did pick up another car. Pete Walsh jumped in.
It's helping him hang on to that lucky dog position. And right now, with 4 cars, they're actually running laps faster than the leaders. They're about a half lap behind, but not losing as much ground as they were earlier when it was just 2 or 3 of them. Now we are coming up on pit stops again. It's been about 42 laps. And they were just like that. The radio lights up with drivers saying they're coming in this time. Look for a handful of our leaders to peel off on the backstretch. Looks like Chapman's staying out, but everybody else in the top 6 is in, led by McCall. That's going to leave Kane Lee and Osborne in 2nd and 3rd. And not a lot of, spread in the pit strategy right now, so I'm expecting these other drivers to come in a lap or 2.
Yeah, I'd assume everybody is because everybody came in on laps 77 and 74. And here they come. Kane Lee going to stay out. Dwayne Furtick also out.
It's a little bit of a risk, Mike. I don't like staying out, but it's also going to hurt Dwayne Furtick because he just lost his drafting and teammate. If Lee has to come serve that penalty. Devastating for the 94. He's been running in the top 3 all day. Both he and the 38 are in serving that black flag penalty. I got to assume it was for speeding, as it's just so tempting to rip it around the apron and then squeeze in under that yellow commitment cone where the first timing line is.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, they're basically give you a free-for-all, and then all of a sudden, nope, you can't do that anymore. You gotta stop here, and sometimes you can't quite get down to where you need to be. But it does shake up the Eliminator challenge there, as Adam Boughton is on the outside looking in right now. Yeah, with that penalty, he's going to have some heavy work to do here.
Yeah, it looks like Lee got his black flag entering pit road. And Boughton might have gotten his exiting pit road, which is kind of surprising. He's the last stall. He just kind of guns it out of there. I'm not sure why or how he could get a speeding penalty there, but it's the way it played out.
I don't see anything really.
Yeah, I think this might actually be when he was serving the black flag, not when he got it.
Go back far enough. Didn't get me. Osborne, Chapman, and McCall lead the race.
This guy's just had the cleanest green flag pit. Good entry speed, clean exit, avoided a penalty. Now they're kind of all alone. That next group of Carter, Ludi, Spear, and Furtick back about 2.5 to 3 seconds.
I think I found it this time. Did rights, did lefts.
I mean, he must have been, a half mile an hour over there on exit. A bummer for Adam. He's now 2 laps down after serving that penalty.
Oh, right there.
Oh, it was an unsafe exit.
Unsafe exit.
And that puts the 94 as the eliminated car. All 3 other drivers running 8th, 9th, and 10th on the lead lap. Although they are the last cars on the lead lap, and just the 3 of them by themselves with a lap car. Really, we've got cars kind of spread out all over the track right now. Osborne leading the group here down the backstretch. They're about to catch Adam Boughton, put him another lap down.
Yeah, that's the worst part about getting one of those penalties on exit, is coming back down pit lane. Like, if you speed in, okay, you come down, you're in your box for a little bit longer, but having to come down completely down pit lane is just a death sentence.
It's heartbreaking for the 94. He's still looking to get his first win of the regular season. He was really in a great position for it until that penalty. But there's another driver looking for his first win of the season. That's John Osborne, the highest running in the points driver that hasn't won yet this season. Leading us right now. We've got a lot of really nice kind of 4th of July red, white, blue paint schemes, but I think my favorite is this Valvoline scheme here on the 81. Some stripes on that 81. He's getting a great push from Chapman. We've seen Chapman giving pushes all night long. That second pack of cars starting to gain on the top 3 ever so slightly as they've added to their numbers, with the 94 joining them, running about 4/10 of a second per lap faster than our top 3. So they're going to catch him on about 5 or 6 laps if they can keep this pace. I think if this thing stays green, just about everybody can make it on fuel as long as they kind of pay attention to their mileage and save just a little bit.
Yeah, they just have to save just a touch here. I know Burden, Bailey, and Denise kind of want that caution to come out, stack the field back up, and have a shootout to the end, but one driver that doesn't is going to be this 81 Chevy driver of John Osborne.
Have a breakout of cautions. It gives everybody a second, a third, and a fourth chance. But when you have these long green flag runs like we're having now, you have to be perfect. Every mistake takes you out of contention. And right now, the drivers that have been able to avoid mistakes, at least for the second half of the race, are Osborne, Chapman, and McCall. They get around to 74. That's Pete Walsh. He's going to go another lap down, leaving Kane Lee in the lucky dog position.
And Kane Lee jumped in here with Burden, Bailey, Denise, so they are trying to make some ground here, just haven't quite been able to.
As I said, everybody in this group would love a caution, whether to get a lap back or just to get caught up. Kent Mueller in there with them. He's 2 laps down. And here comes Michael Carter. Anthony Ludi, Aaron Spear, Dwayne Furtick. Oh, and Burden goes around. We said he wanted a caution. He didn't want to be the caution. We are still green for now, but he might be stuck there on the apron, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't go anywhere.
There
He's
it
trying
is.
to spin his tires, and he is. He's still not going
But
anywhere.
He's going to lose a lap. He didn't get around fast enough.
I just
Just
saw
like that.
him. Yeah, I saw him flash through pit lane. Oh,
Yeah, that's going to be an unsafe entrance.
At least he didn't hit anything really, so you just can't go anywhere because you're stuck.
Yeah, I think in real life there'd be some damage here to the splitter and the diffuser, but I don't know if iRacing goes that far. Yeah, taking a trip through the grass. I mean, he's really just lucky that there wasn't another pack of cars there because he did come back up on the track briefly. And there it is. Just basically everybody coming to pit road. Kane Lee going to grab the lucky dog. That's going to put him back on the lead lap. That'll make 10 cars. I think he got it.
I would assume he did.
I think Mueller's going to stay out and get a wave around.
I think if you think you're okay on fuel, you're going to stay out and take the wave around, try and get at least something. But he is a couple laps down, so I mean, maybe hope for a quick caution.
Yeah, a couple drivers taking the wave around here. So Boughton going to get one of his 3 back. Mueller going to get one of his 2 back. You know, it actually might, I think Kane Lee might have made some contact there as a caution came out, and he didn't get the lucky dog. I think Pete Walsh got it, but Lee going to stay out and take the wave around anyway, get his lap back that way. Getty got one of his 3 back. Again, all these guys right here in front of Ryan McCall going to drive around the pace car, take that wave around and get caught up as we're 1 to go. Back to green. I mean, yeah, a lot of these drivers needed that. Furtick now back in the top 5. Chapman in 6th. Tristan Bailey kind of getting bailed out on that caution. Now he's back up to 7th. So Burden lost a lap down on the apron, bringing out that caution. So he's going to be in the lucky dog position. If another one comes out, he's going to be battling Pete Walsh and Camp Mueller for that. There are 3 drivers 1 lap down. And the 94, the first car, 2 laps down. He's going to need 2 cautions probably to get caught up. Overcome that penalty. I'm kind of curious, Mike. You know, Kane Lee had a pit road penalty for speeding. He only went 1 lap down. Boughton went 3 laps down. I wonder if it was just that Lee was able to find someone to draft with when he came back out. But we are back green. Ryan McCall leads them back. He's already jumping up to the high line to guard against the 81 of Osborne. Michael Carter now leading the inside lane as McCall jumps back down in front of him. The 96 of Aaron Spear giving a good push to the 15, or sorry, the 18. We got the driver down on the apron towards the back, but he didn't make the pit commitment line either. Not sure what that's about.
Might have got pushed a little bit.
And I think that's the 94 Boughton. Way off the pace.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think what happened with that was the fact that Mueller got his penalty probably coming into pit lane, so they just held him in his box, whereas Boughton
right.
got it on exit, so he had to come all the way back down.
That's it. You got it.
And nobody still likes that outside line.
Well, it looks like Bailey is trying it. Tyler Burden going to push him too. Again, they both of those drivers, the 9 trying to get to the front to win this thing, the 06 trying to stay towards the front to get the lucky dog.
Yeah, he needs to get in front of Pete Walsh. And Pete Walsh just barely in front of him now.
Kane Lee just turned the fastest lap of the entire race. He's riding back there in 10th. Kind of behind this main pack. He's the last car in the front pack. Going to need to make some moves, though, to get caught up. But Ryan McCall, Michael Carter, and Aaron Spear continue to lead this race. Just 16 laps to go. Practice is over. Whatever you've learned, whoever you want to work with, you got to get up there.
Yeah, especially with how long these runs seem to take to get anywhere. Probably want to start thinking about how you're going to get up there now, but nobody's really had that outside line commitment. I mean, Andrew Chapman is the only driver that even, tried, and he just side drafted by himself. But as soon as anybody got with him, he went the wrong way as he's working that outside line. Getting to Furtick here.
Yeah, we've seen him do it all race, but he never got higher than 4th. And the teams have really been broken up too. I think that's a big difference. Early on we saw Furtick and Kane Lee working together, but they're separated by about 10 cars right now. Not able to work together. Got a couple Revolution Motorsports guys together, but not everyone like they had earlier on.
Yeah, no, you have, Carter and Spear together there. But McCall's leading them. Osborne, Chapman kind of together there, but not really going anywhere. Chapman tried the outside and wound up going the wrong way again. Somebody has got to commit and try and make that outside line work. Otherwise, you might as well hand the race to McCall or Carter here.
I'm just not sure who has the car to do it. We know Chapman has the technique to do it by himself, but now he's almost all the way to the back of this group. And you've still got Burden and Walsh battling for the lucky dog. Walsh holding on to it right now.
Chapman trying to get a run here on that outside lane.
Just 9 laps to go. The intensity starting to ramp up. The desperation starting to ramp up. I think if you're in the top 5, you can make a move maybe on the 2 laps, 1 lap to go. But if you're further back, you got to make a move now.
Chapman was trying to make a move, just couldn't get there. Doug Denise kept blocking him in that outside lane. I think Denise wants to get pushed, but Chapman does not want to push anybody. He wants to do it himself, it seems like.
There's Osborne to the outside with Tristan Bailey. Sparks flying here under the lights. Oh, there goes Kane Lee and Burden. They keep it together. 3 wide finally. Here we go. Chapman in the middle.
Three wide, almost 4 wide there.
Burden has caught Walsh there in line. Or he had for a second. He lost some momentum there. Had to drift up to the outside lane. So Osborne continues to lead the outside lane. Got Bailey and Burden and Denise behind him, but they just don't seem to be packed together like they need to be. Just 6 laps to go. Everyone running out of time to get to the front. And if you're Ryan McCall, you got to be wondering, when is Michael Carter and Aaron Spear going to try to pull a move on me? We saw those 2 drivers pull a move on Doug Denise earlier when he got a little loose, and they went right around him.
Yeah, you know they're going to be working together. You have to be watching your rear view mirror, see if they start to back up just a little bit, because you know if they do, that run is going to be coming, and it's going to be coming fast in a hurry as Carter is all over their bumper.
Now getting squirrely off the nose of Carter, trying to block whatever lane Carter's going to be in. We're coming back to 4 to go. A little bit of contact between Furtick and Chapman. They're going to survive that.
Chapman was at the back of this pack. He is now
Anthony
running
Ludi
P5.
down on the apron.
Losing it.
He's going to drop to the back of this pack.
Four to go, 3 when we hit the line.
The top 3 just looking untouchable. The outside lane can't get organized. Nobody seems willing to commit to pushing any other driver right now other than the top 3.
Well, Osborne and Chapman should be on the same page as they're on the same team, but they just can't get lined up either. Osborne gets turned.
Goes around.
Caution is out.
And that's going to set us up for a green-white checker, Mike. After that long green flag run. And that one did not come out in time for the 94 to take advantage of it. He had just gone another lap down again, pitting.
See what happened to John here.
Going to pick up the lucky dog.
No, didn't even really touch him.
Yeah, they're just kind of the same thing we've seen all night. Cars get a big push coming down the backstretch, and then in the middle of the turn, the car just gets loose.
And we'll go back live and see what disaster happened here.
Heard some radio chatter. Something went down under caution. The 9 and the 74 are both caught off guard by a weird checkup there. Kind of just an awkward moment. Situations like this can get the best of us. When the late caution comes out, you start focusing on, should I pit? Am I not going to pit? Where am I? How much time do I have? Oh, and the 06 gets into the 51 too.
He was checking up pretty quickly there.
Yeah, you get that caution, you take a breath, maybe grab a drink of water or something else, and you look back at the screen and everybody's slowed down. But either way, that's going to set us up for a green-white checker finish with Ryan McCall in the lead, Michael Carter third, Aaron Spear third, Andrew Chapman fourth, Dwayne Furtick the top 5. Looks like the top 7 going to stay out. Track position has been king all night, especially if you're in that top 3 or 4. I'm not sure how you could even think about pitting at this point.
Definitely not.
Kane Lee going to be the first driver that did pit. Osborne as well. Osborne maybe picking up some damage on that caution, though. Doug Denise has been on pit road for quite a while.
That just tightened up the eliminator a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, that caution was just about a lap and a half late for Boughton because he had to pit. He was running out of fuel. He went back to 3 laps down instead of 2. He just took the wave around, got back to 2 laps. I think Walsh was did not get the lucky dog there because of some contact during or around the caution. Well, we've got 2 laps to go. Pace car hits pit road. Green flag is out. Ryan McCall leads them back. Got Michael Carter leading the outside lane as Chapman dives down low. That's going to leave Carter all alone on the top. And they're going to blow right by him as Furtick comes by on the inside for 4th.
Kind of had a
Chapman
feeling.
looks high.
I kind of had a feeling that's the way it was going to work because Chapman, his teammate Ryan McCall, is leading the race, so he's not going to try and push Carter as he knew Michael Carter had a car to win this thing.
Come Aaron Spear kind of in that teammate sandwich. White flags out. No more cautions in this one. Chapman to the outside. Side drafting the 96 as hard as he can. He's done it all day. Will it be enough here on the final lap? McCall jumps down to block. Kane Lee trying to get to that 3rd lane if he can. But it's going to be too late. As McCall leads them back and takes the checkered flag off the bumper of Spear and Furtick. Was it. We saw McCall just survive the carnage early on. Keep it clean. Bring it home.
Track
help.
position was king as always.
Call out of Bear, Delaware. Gets to do the donuts here at Echo Park Speedway. Started 17th. Just methodically made his way to the front, led the lap 74 and 75 during some pit cycles, and then led the last 25 laps of this race, including a green-white checker.
Wow, we'll do that. Let's get Dwayne Furtick up here in the booth for you.
Dwayne, you got Shane and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. What a wild race. You know, it was kind of a mixture of a caution fest there for a little bit of the first half of the race, and then we got some long green flag runs, green flag pit stops, and then track position just seemed to be king there at the end. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Oh, it was a very, very solid effort. Really enjoyed it. It's just great to, finally put one of these drafting tracks in place. It seems like I had a target on my back at all these type tracks, but nonetheless, very happy for a third place finish tonight.
Yeah, we saw you battling a lot of the time working with your teammate in the 38, but then he picked up a speeding penalty. Were you worried that you might not have the drafting partner to get back caught up with the pack coming out of the pits that time?
I was. I just came off of pit road and looked into my mirror and saw I had a gap. But just to your point, you just definitely don't want to lose the draft here. So very concerned. It was also like guessing like who's going to take 2 tires, who's going to take 4, just things like that.
Well, you got it done anyway, kind of methodically worked your way up to this podium finish here in the last 50 or so laps of the race. Congratulations. Who else you got to send some shout outs and thank yous to?
Yeah, just you shout out to my teammates and shout out to the guy that on lap 161. I'm going to make him popular for all the wrong reasons, but drivers, just please don't rear end people on pace lap, please.
Yeah, we took a look at that one and it just kind of seemed like it caught people off guard, but yeah, I hate to see that they're heading into a final restart. Congratulations again. We'll see you next week.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Aaron, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good.
Well, that was a little mixed bag of racing, but your team seemed to have it all figured out for a while until a couple penalties kind of came to fruition there. How was the race out there, and what did you guys kind of strategize to keep your cars up front?
Well, we all tried to stick together. It was just rough being the lead car and talking to the guys that were lead cars, especially talking with Ryan. If you were out front, the car was just loose. Not unmanageable, but a handful to say the least. So just tried to stick together, keep our noses clean, and try and get everybody up in the top 10. Wasn't quite successful, but I made it up there, so we're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, definitely had the right strategy tonight. As you guys go through the season, how are you feeling about the rest of the season after the little holiday break?
This is my best finish of the season, so it's definitely a confidence boost to me. Other than beginning of the season, I had a rough go at it, but I'm looking to turn it around, kind of mid-ish season here. So we'll see what we can do.
Definitely, Matt. Well, congrats on your P2 finish. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Want to shout out RMS, all my teammates, Wild Bill Falcon Ranch, and then just my family.
Definitely, Matt. Well, congrats once again, and maybe we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
Right. Now, Jane is with our race winner.
Ryan, you got Shade and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
How about that one, man? We saw what a race tonight. A lot of cautions, then a couple big green flag runs, green flag pit stops. We got black flag penalties on pit road. But you kind of had the cleanest second half of the race after being kind of bouncing around 10th most of the race. We see you up in the top 3 and then hold on to the lead for the final 25 laps. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to hang out on the bottom line just because I knew how sketchy it was up high. So, of course, I didn't listen to myself, whatever that second caution was, because the bottom lane stacked up like it did all night. And I just kind of took a run up top. And as soon as I got to that banking, the thing just loaded up on the right rear and it just about lost it. And unfortunately, I had teammates behind me get caught up in trying to check up and whatnot. So, but after that, I was just kind of riding and just sticking with the bottom line the whole time, just getting to the end to hopefully be in position.
Yeah, it just seemed like the key to kind of being in the position at the end were those green flag pit stops. When you come barreling around turns 3 and 4 on the apron, trying to get everything you've got, how hard are you pushing?
I want to say it was between 50 and 75%. I knew it's one of those pit entries that I was uncomfortable with out of others just because of how new and different it was. Because I know the last time we were here, I overcooked it and actually got a pit road entry penalty. So in practice, I practiced it a couple times, just seeing how far I could push it and where the limits were around the bend. Because there's even you kind of get in the middle of 3 and 4, and it kind of drifts out. So you kind of have to make sure you don't turn too hard to get back down to pit road there. So um, yeah, it was a point of emphasis in practice other than just drafting around and trying to see what you could do here.
Well, it was a heck of a night and a finish here for you. You came into the race 14th in points, trying to get into that 12th position for the chase cutoff. This is certainly going to help your chances. Congratulations. Who else you got to thank for tonight's race?
Definitely my teammates. I mean, I hung around them pretty much all night, as long as they stuck around. Just pushing, especially after that green flag pit stop. Just me, Andrew, and John, just trying to push. And these cars get out of shape after a bit, so I really appreciate them hanging with me there, and vice versa.
Yeah, the teammates definitely came into play in tonight's race. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to your team. And we'll see you again next week at Dover. You going to have anything for them there?
Well, I was practicing it a couple weeks ago because I knew once we get past all these super speedways, we have some real racing to get back to. So I got some notes in the bank already for that one. So which is unfortunately the most prep I've been able to do all year. It's life outside out of the sim is a bit hectic at times.
Yeah, well, congratulations again on the win. We'll see you next week. Good luck then, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yep, you too. Thanks, guys.
That will do it for the interview portion. Let's go ahead and go through the race results here. Ryan McCall, Aaron Spear, and Dwayne Furtick are that top three. Tristan Bailey, Andrew Chapman, Anthony Ludy, Michael Carter, Kane Lee, John Osborne, and Doug Denise round out that top 10. Tyler Burden, Pete Walsh, Kent Mueller, Adam Boughton on the rough side of a penalty, going to knock him out of the elimination challenge. Eric Maggette, 15th. Gary Nash, 16th. Bradley Rivers, Christopher Roth, Colin Bollinger, Michael York, and Jonathan Cogswell all did not finish the race tonight, but we'll see what they can do next week when we hit the track at Dover. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Shane?
No, I mean, I think this was everything we expected to see out of an Atlanta race. Couple cautions, couple green flag runs, a lot of cars snappy loose, especially early in the race. Seemed like that kind of went away when the sun went down. So that seems to be the story tonight. But yeah, great race. Congratulations to Ryan picking up his first win of the season and really catapulting him hopefully into the chase.
Definitely agree with that. We'll see what these drivers can do and see who can avoid slipping out of that eliminator challenges as we are down to the final three. But that is next week. Congratulations once again to Ryan McCall, Aaron Spear, and Dwayne Furtick for their top three finish. And we will see you all next week at Dover.